And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungan's droids, all you fancy-looking Kiadi-Mundi coneheads, and of course, the creepy-looking Plagueis people lurking in the shadows for reasons we may never know or understand. And speaking of the creepy-looking Plagueis people, we're gonna talk about the Acolyte today. No, not that one. Don't get all crazy on me. We're gonna be talking about the Night Sister Acolyte and, more importantly, Night Sister Initiate. If you're trying to stop the reign of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren running over your great mothers, well, you know, we might have something interesting for you guys. Let's get on over there and talk about this epic Grand Arena highlight. And let's increase your GAC IQ points by a few additional points, shall we? Let's go. We are almost to the finishing line for this Grand Arena, my friends. 5v5's almost over, but in our hearts, it will go on. We have a fun little conversation today in this Grand Arena where it was yours truly up against Soccer, the Pro. I want to bring this conversation up here in regards to the Night Sister. So as you guys know, and don't forget about it, our premier counter for the Great Mothers is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren with the Kylo Ren Unmasked lead. If you don't know about it, what cave and Tatooine you're in, because I want to know and I want a vacation over there. Here's the thing. We've had a flawless record of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren versus the Great Mothers. However, I ran into my first slightly messy scenario here, and it really comes down to putting in some Great Mothers with some Night Sisters that'll do a little bit of damage and snipe some banners at the very minimum. And I want to talk about, gosh, weird to say, Night Sister Initiate might be kind of interesting right now, people. So the Grand Arena before this one that we did a summary on, card in the top right hand corner, you will see what I'm talking about. We had Initiate counterattack us quite a lot and cause a little bit of mayhem. When you're getting a counterattack, she's one-shotting full, so she stole quite a few banners on me. I don't even have the Zeta on her. She still has a 70% counter chance, but check this out, 50% offense. So when she's countering in a Great Mother team that has a ton of already crazy amounts of offense on there, if you're trying to maybe at least at the minimum make the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren battle a little messier, you might want to be taking a peek at the Night Sister Initiate. I don't know if you want to go all the way and throw a Zeta on, but hey, she'll have a 100% counter chance at that point, and there's no way to stop counterattacks. When Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's doing AoEs, you could be in a little bit of a tough pickle. So either two things. One, throw this in as Supreme Leader Kylo Ren lineup, the Night Great Mothers lineup to stop Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, or be very cautious when doing AoEs of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren because she'll still steal a few souls from you. And if they kill off Kylo Ren Unmasked, then Great Mothers will get their turn because the Doom goes away. Pretty interesting stuff. And you know what? Just as well in this Night Sister Acolyte, you know, she can put some pretty good damage out there. She gets an opportunity to pop some hits. Be very careful. But I think the most interesting thing that I'm seeing right now is putting Night Sister Initiative. Why put Marin? Why put Night Trooper? Why put Death Trooper? All these other guys, they're just gonna die while Kylo rolls them over when this can do some good stuff. So we're gonna bring up why I'm mentioning this towards the end of the video, because let's just say, you know, I tried it out for myself. So let's get into the action, my friend. Up against Soccer the Pro, our first battle that we have here, my friend, is gonna be Maul versus Kellerin Back. Listen, we know Bane had a little bit of beef with Nihilus. Let me tell you, we have a little beef with Maul the Jedi. Maul was on a Jedi slaying spree. However, he ran into a bit of an issue with the Barris Datacron. Well, luckily, there was no Barris Datacron here today, people. Maul, four-man team. Anakin literally nuked himself out when he did the AoE. We had counterattacks from Mandalorians taking him down. And once Anakin's down, yeah, they're going down, down, down. The Ring of Fire. Beautiful wins from Maul. Love when the guy can do some stuff. When I'm using him outside of Lord Vader, life is good, my friends. Next up, we have Malus versus Malus. You know, there's got to be a common theme where like evil, bad, you know, Star Wars people, they always start off with M-A-L. Malgus, Malik, Malicos. Is it because the word Mal means bad? Like you know, is that like the short version of, you know, bad right there? Anyways, this is bad to the bone. Our opponent already got a little bit of a head start on the next Datacron set, and they have the Malicos Datacron, which lets them go a little crazier at that level 9. And the level 6 can reduce max health when they're using special abilities. Any of the unaligned force users, that is, when the enemy has 3 debuffs on them. I was a little worried, but I was like, you know what? Let's just get ready for the next season. Bring it in Malgus. It got a little sketchy. Malicos, well, he was dropping nukes, some rocks out of the sky. You know, Star Killer pulls Star Destroyers out of the sky. This guy pulls rocks out of the sky, nuking out my Sith Assassin. Got a little worried, but luckily, eventually we were able to take down Malicos with Darth Malgus. So overall, this one pretty well. And I could have thrown something else, but you know what? Our goal today, let me spoil it for you. The goal in this Grand Arena was no galactic legends to be used on offense. So we'll see how good we did with that. Knocking down the Malicos. Who cares if they have an early access on the next set of Dedicrons? And let's now move on to our next battle, where we have Gideon versus Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, baby, come on. You should know the drill at this point. We've done this quite a few times. It's still getting the job done. My curiosity is going to be lined with this next round of Grand Arena 3v3, if you considered it to be Grand Arena, of course. Is this going to work in 3v3? This was great in 5v5 before it was nerfed. It was great in 3v3 before it was nerfed, but now it's nerfed. But nonetheless, it gets the job done. You know, he still gets that turn every couple turns. And nice thing is, when we have our Death Trooper Peridia and the alive version of Death Trooper, we're moving fast. We're making plays, getting death mark, pop, 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 pop. Super fun. Darth Trooper Gideon getting work done. I mean, you don't need me to tell you, but Darth Trooper Gideon, in case you didn't know, his forte is in territory wars. Hopefully, if you are playing with Datacrons, you're taking advantage of this. But people, we got victory ahead of ourselves, so let's keep moving up. We're the last thing we have in this front wall. Bo-Katan versus the Gungans. I don't want to talk about this. No, I'm not, I'm just getting really sick and tired of Gungans. Super annoying. I won. That's all that matters. I'm not going to do no. Next battle, we won. I'm done talking about Gungans. We then cracked down the front wall, and now we get to see what lies ahead of us here. On the back wall, we had some pretty tame things, such as Enoch. We had ourselves some Night Sisters. We had ourselves a Luth, and we got better things to do. We're gonna go to the top side, where here, we decided to mix it up a little bit. Instead of doing the usual thing, let's do some fun stuff here, where we got ourselves a Queen Amidala versus Leia Organa. Whew, I made a little bit of an oopsie, people. Just a little tiny bit. I know that Leia Organa, when you're getting turn meter, she's ramping up her critical avoidance. I forgot about Shaak Ti. She's got passive turn meter gains. I got a little worried we weren't landing as many critical hits for Padawan and Obi-Wan. Shaak Ti was getting too much turn meter. I know this, but I forgot about it. If you are going to use this up against Leia, don't bring in someone like Barriss or Shaak Ti. They get way too much turn meter. You know, just anyone else. I don't care. Clone Wars Chewbacca. We all know he's the best, right? But don't worry. The King of Trip B got the job done eventually. Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi was able to land that critical hit, and we were moving along at that point. Normally, we've been throwing Luth up against Leia, but I was like, you know what? Let's mix it up a little bit today. So here, as you see, getting through Leia. No GL required. And that means we can keep moving the chains, people, where the next battle is gonna be Luth versus Lord Vader. Now, I'm sorry, there might need to be a content warning for this video because this was straight up murder. I didn't even notice they had no Maul. This was massive overkill, bringing in Luth and was shattering the literal spirit of Lord Vader. Gosh, I feel bad for this galactic legend. Nonetheless, I would have thrown something else if I realized there was no Maul on that team, because that's really the guy that gets things cooking for this Lord Vader lineup here. Nonetheless, Luthen, in case you were bored seeing me using him against Leia, yeah, Luthen's a great counter for Lord Vader too. Luthen, my gosh, beats most galactic legends. I mean, we have Leia, Lord Vader, Rey, some perimeter combat if you saw Gerrera. I mean, shoot, man. Sometimes Jabba the Hutt. This guy really beats a lot. It's actually crazy, but nonetheless, nice, easy win. Let's keep moving the chains, shall we? We're here. You know, you remember that movie, Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, small indie movie? You may have missed it. There's this scene where this big-looking, bushy, hairy guy comes in to this little boy that's on a little vacation with his family, breaks into the house. It sounds a lot creepier than it is, and then he's like, "You're a wizard, Harry." Well, I don't know why he sounds like he's Southern, but nonetheless, that was based off a real story, me, because we had a Star Killer versus Rey battle. And this is where the magic happened. Again, try not to use any galactic legend. versus our opponent today. We need to flex our muscles just in case you forgot that, yeah, there's a reason why I'm the king of Grand Arena. I've been generally staying away from Star Killer versus raid battles. It's just right now the Attacker Cron, the Nest Cron, something that I don't want to have to deal with, but nonetheless, people, I made plays happen. We got things to work. I want to remind you guys, this is one of the biggest things that I see a common theme over the years. New people come in, people return. They might be missing some of these details, even for those that are always here. You may forget that when Starkiller has debuffs on the enemy, he's reducing their damage. So it's imperative you try to lock in debuffs on the Nest, on the Rey especially. She still nuked out my Palpatine, but man, look at this. I was able to clear out this team working against the grain. Oh, it's a good day when Starkiller is bringing home the money, honey. And now, people, Enoch versus Dr. Aphra. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think I was gonna pull this off here because I'm like, I need the Night Trooper Datacron, and I didn't use it here. Guess what? We didn't need no Night Trooper Datacron. This was really cool. We're using the Enoch Datacron for the next season since the purple sets are going to be going away soon. And this was a ton of fun. It really is. We know that Enoch can counter Aphra to some extent, but I was expecting Aphra with her Datacron to roll over me. Nuh-uh-uh. We got work done. Even my Dark Trooper was getting some serious work done, constantly assisting off one another. I love Enoch. He's a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next step in the evolution process for the Imperial Remnants are. Nice, beautiful win. And now, we take a look at the South Wall, where we're gonna have to have ourselves a little fun conversation about Shorty versus Luth. Let's just say things got a little out of hand, people. BT, we didn't have Dark Trooper because, well, we just used them a second ago in case you missed it. So in case you didn't know, well, it's not gonna matter because you only have one more Grand Arena before this goes away. If you don't use Dark Trooper, you can use BT here. He got the job done. Get a ton of buffs, ramping him up, ramping up his critical damage. BT does the AoE, nukes out the enemy. He got a little carried away and did some pretty massive damage to my own team. Got a little bit too excited, but you know what? I like that enthusiasm, BT. Nice job on the win. Next time, don't steal my banners. And then we have Bane versus Enoch. I got a few ways of handling this. Generally, if in case you're looking for like a non-GL, cheapish way of taking this down, no Star Killer type of thing, I had Jedi Knight Revan beat this in the past. But today, we decided to let Bane have a little bit of fun. Let Bane just feed off these zombies that he has in front of him. Pretty straightforward, but keep in mind, they had the Enoch Datacron. You can't land crits. And as you know, if you're not landing crits, kind of hard to kill off these Imperial remnants. They just don't seem to get the memo to die off. But eventually, slowly but surely, the opening play looked really scared. Enoch quickly knocked out my Sith Bantha fodder. But nonetheless, Bane was determined to take the win home, eventually landing a few lucky crits. Working through this team, take down the Enoch first is always the name of the game with these Imperial Remnants, and you're gonna keep on moving to the next battle, where our last battle, unfortunately, was Ugot versus Resistance. Someone asked me, they told me Ugot was their favorite character, and I'm like, okay, I'll play with Ugot. Unfortunately, my Gear 6, 5, Enoch, whatever it was, not Enoch, Ugot. Enoch, Ugot, ooh. Mind blown. What if Enoch is an Ugnaught? Anyways, unfortunately, let's just say Ugnaught was not up to the challenge. Even with the Night Sisters trying to res him, it wasn't working. Moment of silence. And then we have ourselves General Grievous cleaning up this mess. Oh, it's always a good day when General Grievous gets on my hollow table and makes the play happen. For rolling the turn meter, getting the target lock everywhere. It all just really relies on B2 waking the heck up, smelling the B2 super battle droid coffee. I guess that's just like a pint of oil, but nonetheless, engine rolling, and we are looking good. Really fun to make this work. A lot easier when there's no stupid, Rose Tico's Omicron. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And lastly, what we had here was a little bit of ship action. Spoiler, we were dominating. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna try something out. So our opponent dropped both Leviathan and the Punishing One. And we've been saying, what's our answer to this situation? Because Scythe is now becoming more important. Nice to counter the Punishing One. Nice, of course, to counter the Leviathan. Problem is, I only got one. So I decided to take the Kenobi's Negotiator for a little bit of a spin. We made a video about this the other day in case you missed it. Finding a nice way for a Negotiator to, at the minimum, set you up for a two-shot situation. And here's how it went down. Started off great. We took out the punishing one. Boom. 2-shot situation is in our grasp. I like that a lot. However, ran into a bit of an issue. Started off fine, called in the Plo reinforcement. My second reinforcement probably should have been Jedi Knight Anakin. I was missing some much needed damage, buff immunities as well. I called in Ahsoka instead. I feel like this was probably the biggest thing that I felt my steam in the engine was not going too well. So if I was gonna recommend this, use your Anakin reinforcement and get the damage, and you'll probably get across the finish line at that point. It's cool to see that at least Negotiator's competitive still. Otherwise, I'd have to use Negotiator against Leviathan, and that's kind of a 2-shot situation too sometimes. Nonetheless, we were able to set ourselves up for a nice, easy Finalizer cleanup up against this punishing one. So nice to know that at least I have the situation locked down. If I do continue to see Leviathan and punishing one on defense simultaneously, we're good to go. And now, people, you might be wondering, with gameplay like this, what's our final score? Well, let me tell ya. We secured the victory up against Sucker the Prowl with a final score of 1414 versus 838. We ran out of time, couldn't get the ships in time. We were gonna full clear if I had maybe like an extra 2-3 minutes. I was too busy playing with my free-to-play account, but nonetheless, just in case you're wondering why I didn't full clear, ran out of time. Wow, Arnold, what else is new? But here's what I wanna show you. My defense holding up. We put Great Mothers down. I threw in the Initiate and Acolyte, and well, they held. The question is, did Supreme Leader Kylo Ren fail? We don't have that answer now. Once the data comes out, we will see. But is it going to matter that much? Because, well, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's likely not going to be able to counter Great Mothers. Once the attacker datacron sets go away, we're going to have to figure it out. We'll find some other ways of maybe handling it. But for right now, check that out. Initiate and Acolyte getting work done. We also had some other holds that our opponent had a bit of difficulty with. We're on the south side. We had ourselves some holds on Jabba as well as Leia Organa, and they just probably didn't have the firepower to clear the rest of this. So people, this is a proper display of Triple B Grand Arena dominance. It always feels good. But you know what else feels good? You spending your time with me here today inside our beautiful Grand Arena Coliseum. Leave that like, comment down below, and all your beautiful thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today. Oh, it's great to be in the Empire.